for 15 years using huge radio telescopes that look like this. And now the results of that work are in. They discovered evidence of a background of long gravitational waves filling the cosmos. This is kind of like 15 years ago, we got hearing good enough to detect occasional yells from the cosmos.
One day in 2019, deep in the arid Australian outback, radio astronomer Anna Kopinska was scanning data from a new telescope. Suddenly, she froze. On her screen, a strange object appeared, a perfect, faint circle, like a colossal smoke ring floating in the cosmic darkness. It was unlike any galaxy or supernova remnant ever seen. It had no bright core, no spiral arms, no plasma tail. It was just a ring, glowing in radio waves, on a scale that was unimaginable. She scrawled 3 short letters across the image, WTF. That feeling, a mix of curiosity, shock, and excitement, marked the birth of one of the 21st century's greatest astronomical mysteries. Later, as scientists investigated further, they found not just one, but several similar circles. The scientific community quickly gave them a name that was both scientific and witty: odd radio circles, or ORCs. These rings are like ripples left behind after a tremendous explosion in the universe. They drift silently through space, glowing in radio waves, as if someone once threw an immense source of energy into the cosmic pond, but no one knows what that stone was. What created them? An ancient explosion, a galaxy blasting out powerful jets of energy, or something science doesn't even have a name for yet? That question launched a cosmic investigation that has spanned years and is far from over. This discovery would have been impossible without humanity's new super-eye ASCAP, Australia's next-generation radio telescope. Simply put, ASCAP is like a giant camera that can photograph the entire sky using radio waves. It consists of 36 metal dishes, each 12 meters wide, working in unison to capture faint signals emitted from billions of light-years away. What makes ASCAP special is its phased array feed, a technology that allows it to scan a patch of sky dozens of times larger than conventional telescopes. This enables it to detect faint objects that were previously completely invisible. The project Kopinska was working on was called EMU, the Evolutionary Map of the Universe. Its goal to map tens of millions of radio sources across the southern sky. And in that mountain of data, she stumbled upon a strange circle, the object that would become the very first ORC in history. Interestingly, this discovery didn't come from artificial intelligence or data analysis software. It all started with the human eye. While the algorithms were busy searching for familiar types of galaxies, it was Kopinska herself with her obsolete human eyes who spotted the anomaly. A small detail a computer had overlooked opened up an entirely new class of astronomical phenomena. After the announcement, the team used several other telescopes to cross-check the finding. They all confirmed it: the circle was real. It wasn't an imaging artifact or signal noise. It existed, and it was gigantic. A few years later, the Meerkat telescope in South Africa captured a much sharper image, revealing faint filaments and sophisticated, swirling structures inside the ring. Not only that, but its radio light was also highly polarized, meaning the electrons within were moving in the same direction, a classic sign of an expanding shockwave. If the universe is a field of snow, then an ORC is like a massive tire track pressed into its surface, the evidence of a colossal energy impact in the distant past. And the most incredible part? It was the combination of modern technology and human intuition that allowed us to find it. Among the known ORCs, ORCA-1 is the most iconic. When you zoom in on its image, you see a faint, bluish ring with a sharp outer edge and a darker center. It looks like a cosmic donut. ORC-1 is estimated to be about 5 billion light-years from Earth. Its diameter could be up to 2 million light-years across, making it 20 times larger than our own Milky Way galaxy. If you compared the Milky Way to a CD, ORC-1 would be the size of a football stadium. Right at the center of the ring, telescopes detected an elliptical galaxy, the apparent scene of the crime. But the strange thing is, the ring around it only glows in radio waves. When observed in visible light, infrared, or X-rays, there is absolutely nothing there. This means that ORCs don't emit heat and light like stars do. They produce synchrotron radiation, the kind of light generated when electrons travel at nearly the speed of light through a magnetic field. Similar to how sparks fly when you strike metal, the magnetic fields around the ORC also revealed a clue: the field lines run along the edge of the ring, as if they're being compressed by a massive, expanding wave. In other words, an ORC is a shockwave shell, a cosmic bubble inflating after an ancient explosion. The fine filaments inside tell another interesting story. The shockwave might have passed through a non-uniform medium, a mix of dense and sparse regions, causing it to bend and tear. Like a soap bubble in the wind, it deforms but maintains its overall circular shape. If you've ever seen a blockbuster movie where a fireball expands and shakes the very fabric of space, an ORC is a version that's millions of times slower, millions of times bigger, and happens between galaxies. It's a scene that is both majestic and terrifying, a place where the universe bears the scars of events that once shook the cosmos. A flood of theories about ORCs has emerged, each one like a piece in a cosmic-scale detective story. Some scientists believe they are the remnants of a violent starburst. Others think they are the wounds left after the collision of two supermassive black holes. Still others propose they are simply plasma bubbles inflated by active galaxies. All are plausible, but all are riddled with contradictions. The first theory sounds the most straightforward. An ORC could be the result of a superwind generated by a starburst. Imagine a galaxy in a frenzied phase, where billions of stars are born in a short period. These massive stars age quickly and explode in unison, creating a colossal stellar wind that sweeps through the space around the galaxy. When these winds slam into the thin gas outside the galaxy, they create a shockwave like an explosion propagating through space. What we see today might be the leftover gas shell from that stellar storm, glowing faintly in radio waves even after cooling for billions of years. One team of astronomers believes this theory fits ORC4, a circle that shows signs of a galaxy that underwent a powerful starburst in its past. The remaining traces of compressed, shocked gas and the light from the electrons continue to broadcast the story of an ancient fury. But not everyone is convinced. Other researchers argue that the energy required to create an ORC of such a massive size, millions of light years in diameter, far exceeds what a starburst could produce. They turn to a more audacious hypothesis: the merger of two supermassive black holes. When two galaxies collide, the black holes at their centers gradually draw closer, beginning a dance of death that lasts for hundreds of millions of years. Eventually, they merge in a cataclysmic explosion of energy, shaking space itself with gravitational waves. This energy could expand like an explosive sphere, creating a shockwave and pushing high-energy particles millions of light-years away. If correct, an ORC is the lingering echo of a collision between two ancient black holes, a faint but immortal signature. This theory is compelling because it explains the rarity of ORCs. Mergers of this scale don't happen often, but its weakness is also clear. We have no direct evidence. There's no gravitational wave remnant, no trace of energy other than the radio ring itself. Yet, for many, that silence makes it even more believable: a single, colossal impact, and space is still trembling billions of years later. Another line of reasoning suggests that ORCs aren't the remnants of an explosion at all, but rather the product of giant energy jets from an active galactic nucleus, or AGN, in these types of galaxies. The central black hole ejects two massive plasma jets, inflating bubbles of thin gas that can span millions of light years. When the jets shut off, the bubble cools and drifts through space. But if a collision or another shockwave passes by, this old bubble can be relit. On a radio image, it would look like a perfect circle. Perhaps ORCs aren't scars, but bubbles re-illuminated after a long slumber. A prime example is the cloverleaf ORC, an object shaped like a three-leaf clover. It emits not only radio waves but also X-rays. Observations show that this region is undergoing a merger of two galaxy clusters, heating gas to millions of degrees. The shockwaves from this collision may have re-energized old electrons, creating its bizarre shape. This suggests the universe can recycle energy. A new impact awakens the echo of an old one, creating the light we see today. All these theories are plausible, And it's possible that each ORC is the product of a different mechanism. Some may be born from starbursts, others from black hole mergers, and still others from cooled AGN bubbles. But whatever their cause, they all share one thing in common: they are the colossal scars of the most violent events in the history of the universe. And each glowing circle may be whispering an ancient story whose light has not yet faded. The more astronomers looked, the more orcs they found. But the surprise was this: no two orcs are alike. Some are perfectly round. Others are distorted like clouds. Some have bright, clear rims, while others are as faint as smoke. It seems each circle is a unique signature of the event that created it. ORC-1 was the first neat, uniform, like a donut of light in space. It became the model for the classic ORC circular, bright-edged, with an elliptical galaxy at its center. But then came ORC-2 and ORC-3, and they confused everyone. These two objects lie side by side in the sky, but are starkly different. ORC-2 is bright and well-defined, while ORC-3 is fainter and more flattened. Some researchers think they might be two lobes of the same system, created by jets erupting from a central galaxy. This pair forced astronomers to ask, what if ORCs aren't single circles, but parts of a larger structure, like two connected bubbles? Then there's ORC-5, which has two galaxies near its center. This suggests that a gravitational interaction between them, or perhaps even a collision, could be the cause of the ring. It's like two stones dropped into a pond at the same time, creating two overlapping sets of ripples, and from billions of light years away. We only see that interference as a single, faint, circular glow. The more ORCs are discovered, the more tangled the picture becomes. Some rings appear to be starburst remnants, while others look like AGN bubbles or the product of galaxy mergers. There is even an ORC so distant that its light has taken nearly 9 billion years to reach Earth, giving us a glimpse of a vintage version of the universe. With every new circle added, the theories must be revised, like assembling a jigsaw puzzle without knowing what the final picture is supposed to be. This diversity has led scientists to a bold possibility. ORC may not be a single class of object. It might be an umbrella term, like the word storm, which covers everything from tornadoes to tropical cyclones, though they are all radio circles. Each ORC could be born from a unique mechanism under different environmental conditions. However, there's an opposing view: perhaps all ORCs are born from the same fundamental phenomenon, a giant shockwave expanding from a galactic center. It's just that as this wave travels through environments with different densities and magnetic fields, its shape and brightness are altered, making each ORC look unique. In other words, they might share the same parents but grew up in different neighborhoods, becoming very different children. Whatever the final answer is, ORCs have undoubtedly opened up a new zoo in astronomy, a place where each object is both familiar and strange, both scientific and artistically evocative. Looking at these circles, one gets the sense of witnessing the relics of explosions that once shook the universe. But now, only a faint light remains, drifting in the darkness. They are a reminder that space is not silent, but a stage where epic battles of energy are still playing out so slowly that only the most patient observers can ever hope to see them. To date, only a handful of ORCs have been confirmed in the sky, a tiny number compared to the millions of galaxies we know exist. So why are they so rare? Perhaps the events that create them are exceedingly rare, like supermassive black hole mergers. Or maybe they have short lifespans, fading away after just a few 100 million years. Or it could simply be that our instruments aren't yet sensitive enough to see them. Whatever the reason, the answer certainly lies in more data. Telescopes like ASCAP and Meerkat are continuing their scan of the heavens. Each new image is a lottery ticket, and the next circle could be waiting to be found. In addition, thousands of volunteers on platforms like Radio Galaxy Zoo are helping scientists classify data. These ordinary astronomy lovers could be the first to spot a new ORC. And then there is the SKA, the Square Kilometer Array, the world's largest telescope currently under construction. When completed, the SKA will be dozens of times more sensitive than any existing telescope. It could detect hundreds, perhaps even thousands, of ORCs. revealing the full map of the kingdom of circles in our universe. But this isn't just a story about technology. Each new ORC discovered will deepen our understanding of how galaxies breathe, how they form stars, explode, and push matter back into space. ORCs could be the key to understanding the process of cosmic recycling from stardust to planets. And eventually, to us. Looking back, it's incredible to think that this all started with 3 letters, WTF, scrawled on a noisy image. And perhaps that exclamation will continue to echo every time humanity discovers another new circle in the endless expanse of space. From a hastily written WTF in 2019, we have embarked on an entire journey of discovery. ORCs, those giant, silent radio smoke rings, are not just a scientific enigma. They are a reminder that the universe still holds wonders far beyond our imagination. They are the scars of ancient galactic explosions, the ripples of energy that swept through space billions of years ago. Each circle is a souvenir left behind by the cosmos, a memento of its own chaotic past. And who knows right now, in some corner of the sky, a new smoke ring may be slowly taking shape, beginning the next chapter in the endless story of space. If you love exploring cosmic mysteries, subscribe to join us on the hunt for the next odd radio circles. Who knows? Next time, you might be the one writing WTF on a new discovery.